Hi, guys. My name's Ray from. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you know when I go live or when I upload a video or, anything like that so you get notified. Now, I need to make this really clear. I'm going to be very negative, and I've talked to a lot of people about AEW last night. I got the consensus all around. It was pretty much a C- or a D. Outside of maybe a segment, maybe 2 matches, everybody told me the same. It was average. It wasn't good. It was like a Raw, but worse. And when I watched it back or watched the highlights, I have to agree with everybody. Everybody I talked to said it was not that great. And I started watching it, and Top Flight does not need to be on anything to do with AEW Dark or Elevation. They need to be a Ring of Honor thing, because they're winning big on Ring of Honor, but when it comes to AEW anything else, they are getting squashed convincingly. They're putting on bangers, but they're getting squashed at the same time. On Ring of Honor, they're looking really good. Like, they're shaping up to be one of the top tag teams in Ring of Honor. So for me, they should not be on AEW television. Top Flight should be a Ring of Honor thing and not so much of an AEW thing. Because that's how they're presenting them. If you watch Elevation or you watch Dark, you will notice that they're getting squished or they're beating talent. And then on Ring of Honor, they look like $1 million. So I would rather see them on Ring of Honor, go for championships and stuff like that, more than being on AEW, to be honest. That's just my personal opinion there. And they really need to fix how they cross these storylines between Elevation and Dark, because you're seeing it on Rampage and Dynamite. It's kind of a mess. They need to separate these two things. They don't need to have these all come together as one thing per week. Let Elevation and Dark be its own thing. And this is why I said Elevation and Dark should have their own titles, kind of like an NXT. And have them just go between those two shows. And then once your talent's ready, then put them on a Rampage or a Dynamite. Build them up properly. This is where coaching and things come into play, because if you watch Dark and you watch Elevation, it's kind of all over the place as well. Like the episode that I reviewed, it was mostly just squash talent. Like they were like dark matches. Not anything special. Not anything I got to go, woo, to watch. And that falls on Tony Khan. Tony Khan's that Booker of the Year, as Wrestling Observer and a lot of other places say. But this week, AEW's been pretty in the toilet bowl, and I hope on Saturday that Rampage, they pick that shit up, because it's not looking good. Yeah, they can have a banger of a match as the main card match, but there was no hype leading into it. There was no, if you're going to have a dream match, you want to build all the other matches to coexist together so it all falls in together at the end. It wasn't that. The women's match was horrible. The Outcast is redonkulously bad. It's Riot Squad 2.0. It's awful. It's not, I don't understand why they got to do the whole NWO thing. Oh, I got to put an L for a loser. Yeah, loser. It's stupid. Like, Saraya should be fighting for titles. Saraya should have been fighting for that TBS belt already. Where's Chris Statlander? You bring in Taya Valkyrie, but you don't have her come out and make any statements or anything. Did I sign with AEW? They're teasing that she did, but there was no, she all elite or not. Like, to me, AEW is all over the place right now. Like, for instance, Orange Cassidy, right? Orange Cassidy should be defending that title every week as an open challenge. Like, kind of like what Wesley does for NXT. And you should have Orange Cassidy fight people that are not always Kip Sabians or this, that, and third. He should be fighting more like a Wardlow, or a, maybe you put a Miro in that situation. Maybe you bring back Pac. Maybe Pac's hurt. Bring a Pac in. Maybe you bring up, the rumor has it that Brian Cage is going to WWE and he's going to debut at WrestleMania now. Why didn't you, before that happens, please him and have him come into AEW and win a title. You know what I mean? Or Jake Hager, or, you can have these open challenge matches with Orange Cassidy, but stop making them so carniacs. Like, Orange Cassidy's so much better than that. At the very beginning, and I agree with Pesci with this one. He used to tell me during the pandemic when they were doing the Freshly Squeezed thing with Jericho, he was more serious. It was more fun. Now, and Pesci, feel free, you can shellac me if I remember the story you told me about that wrong, and I apologize if I did. But anyway, you guys get the point. Orange Cassidy can be so much better, and I feel that he should lose the title at this point. I thought he was going to lose it to Big Bill. Where's Big Bill been part of the firm? Where's Cass? Cass should be fighting for TV championship belts or tag team belts. He should have a belt on his name. He should be in Ring of Honor fighting for a peer championship, or better yet, television title against Samoa Joe. Or scrap him out of the firm, bring Enzo Amore in, and have him be his manager. Again, I don't understand what AEW is doing. And then they had a segment where the Young Bucks were being carried into an ambulance, and Adam Page, like, is he with the Elite or not with the Elite? With the Elite, not with the Elite, not Elite, not Elite, not Elite, not. Kenny Omega should be having these bangers of a matches on pay-per-views. That was a pay-per-view style match. I don't understand. I really don't get it. With defeats AAA Megas champion El Hydro del Vikingo. And again, El del Vikingo is a really good piece of talent. This should have happened years ago. I remember when Kenny Omega wanted this. This is when Vikingo was on his height. I remember this. They were going to do it in New Japan at one point, but what fell apart was New Japan works with CMLL, not AAA, so that's why it didn't happen. And then they were going to do it again in AEW, but again, New Japan stepped in, and that's why they didn't do it the second time. Now we're doing it, but why are we not doing it on a pay-per-view? Why are we not doing it during Forbidden Door? Why are we not doing this as a Double or Nothing thing, or something that is like a big wow me situation? Kenny Omega should not be having these bangers of matches for no reason. You need to be building. There should have been a story behind this. Oh, it's a dream match. Great. But we don't know who this person is for dirt. A lot of people were telling me they didn't know who this person was. I knew who he was because I watch everything. I know what he is. I know what Vikingo is. Not everybody does. And again, that falls on Tony Khan, your Booker of the Year. Right now, I'm putting Raw ahead of AEW Dynamite right now. I'm putting literally a show one up from them. I'm putting NXT this week. NXT killed it this week. Was doing good shit. Had a banger of a match versus Ilya Dragunov and McDonough. And I'm going to tell you, it just shows to me that they just went along with the motions this week, AEW did. Oh, yeah, we'll just go along with it. Yeah, we'll just put on whatever show, fuck all. And that's what we're going to do. It just made no sense to me. Perfect V trigger, one winged angel for the victory. Like, again, we all, if this person's coming into AEW, this is going to be Kenny Omega. So this sets up for, I either think a Forbidden Door match or a Double or Nothing match, or they put this on Supercard of Honor as a special match and they have it for the AAA's title. I don't know why they're not doing that. I just don't understand there. So a special Rampage. Powerhouse Hobb will defend the TNT title against Penta El Zero Mero. Okay. Powerhouse Hobb's probably going to win that because you can't have him lose the title. But it'll be an interesting match. We'll hear from Ricky Starks on who has challenged Juice Robinson. Who cares? Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Like, I just saw him on, I think it was Dark recently, almost get beat. So, like, Juice Robinson's great talent, but he's looking weak on Elevation and Dark already. So, and then we got Taya Valkyrie versus Leela Gray. As Taya Valkyrie signed, what are we getting with that? Because Leela Gray just won on, I think, Elevation, I think it was. We got Brody King versus Jake Hager. Again, I'm happy to see Jake Hager getting a push. And then we got The Claim taking on the Kingdom. Why are we doing this? Matt Taven and Bennett should be on Ring of Honor. Stop crossing the rosters. Tony, make Ring of Honor good. I don't want to see cross-matching of talents. I apologize to say this, but I don't want to see that personally. Just, again. So, again, and then the Acclaim, the Acclaim will probably win this, but, again, like I said, this Rampage is already looking not good either. It's not looking good. And I don't want to be so negative. But when Tony, if I'm going to be negative towards WWE for what they do and how they book their matches and how sometimes Monday Night Raws have not looked good, then you can't give B minuses all the time and say this product's great when everybody in the consensus I got last night it was a down week for AEW. It was just AEW could take the L this week. And it looks like Rampage could take the L. I think I see that Tony Khan's putting a lot more stock into Ring of Honor right now because he's got a pay-per-view going on. If this is what they're going to do going forward, I feel really bad. This is where Tony Khan should have a team for Ring of Honor and have a team for AEW stuff. And he just, has a team of writers and things like that. And that's when, he says he writes for everything. But again, I think he needs to start having a team with writes and he writes and they can fix things on the fly to make it easier on his life. Because I really think he's struggling. And this showed. Because this is a chink in the armor right now. And again, I just think, some of this could have been better. Again, Kenny Omega match was a banger. But there was no lead up to it. There was no build. There was no, they're trying to tell a story. Yes, they were trying to tell a story within the match, which was sweet because I do like what AEW does with storytelling. On a positive note, AEW does a great job when it comes to, storytelling. I'll give them that. But the build thing to all this was ridiculous. There wasn't. And that's a shame because this needs to be on a pay-per-view. Again, and it wasn't for the title either. That's the thing. Kenny Omega has been a AAA Megas champion before. Why was the title not defended here? You have AAA being on the fence with you guys after what happened with Tay Mello and Sammy Guevara. Why did you have these bangers of a match? I don't get it. Tony Storm with Saraya and Ruby Soho defeating Sky Blue. That to me shouldn't be happening. Sky Blue should not be getting squashed. Sky Blue should be on Ring of Honor. She should be on Dark, Elevation, being on those products right now. Sky Blue, there's nothing there for her on. That's why she got squashed, because there's nothing there for her. Same with Willow Nightingale. There's nothing there for them, within the main roster of AEW. Ring of Honor, I can understand. AEW got your Tony Storm, you have your Sarayas, you have your Ruby Sohos, and you're possibly going to bring in Sasha Monet or, Mercedes Moné. You're going to bring in people like Taya Valkyrie. There's going to be no more room for these people. You're going to have your big stars and maybe some of your homegrown talent like Riho and like where the hell has been, what's her name? Oh my God, I forgot her name. Sheeta. Where's Sheeta been? Sheeta hasn't exist. Where's Sheeta been? Sheeta don't exist. Like, again, I'm just very, very confused. And I'm just very wanting to know what AEW is going to do going forward. if this is the way they're gonna go 3 weeks of good storytelling and have good storylines, and then they're gonna have issues. And the beginning match again, Wheeler Yuta defeats Stu Grayson that's coming back, and Evil Uno and John Silver and all them. Again, you're making the Dark Order look really good. They should be getting victories here. Don't get me wrong, the Combat Club or the Blackpool Combat Club, great. But you're making bad decisions when you have the Dark Order. You're having the Dark Order be face and ruthless aggression, and you're not giving them victories. You're not giving the payoff for it. There's no payoff. And that's what I get mad about AEW. You're not throwing a bone to Uno or Grayson for putting on bangers, and you have them lose. Dark Order should be winning here. You're trying to build up Dark Order to be this be-all, end-all again with this ruthless aggression, with Uno being in charge, but do the proper things, Tony Khan. That's why I said tonight is a solid C-, a D. Could have been better. There needs to be better booking choices here. And I feel, why are we having people that are winning on Ring of Honor getting squashed on AEW television? Beyond me. Why are you having people that are looking good on other AEW products like Elevation and Dark looking really good, but then getting squashed on main television? It makes no sense to me. You can have the whole Adam Cole segment, but again, this whole Adam Cole thing is getting old to me because, well, great, he's coming back next week. Great. Golf clap. Yeah, I'm happy to see him back. But the whole vignettes is kind of becoming redundant. It's becoming repetitive. Give me more. You know, my thing is Adam Cole should be on Rampage, hyping it up, saying, Daniel Garcia, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to lay you in rubble. And I'm coming for the championship of MJF. You want to talk? See, that's what he could be doing. Seriously. I really think it's going to either be Kenny Omega going forward or it's going to be Adam Cole. It's going to be one of the two. And I think this whole thing going into Double or Nothing with these pillars is ridiculous. It should be Adam Cole or Kenny Omega or a CM Punk returning. Either three. Adam Cole should be your definite number one. Kenny Omega should be two. And honestly, CM Punk should be there as a fall plan. But anyway, this has been Rafe Realm. I know I was a little negative and I was a little animated, but I expect every week when Tony Khan goes on Busted Open or any podcast or any media scrum and says they are the best company and they write great and he's being considered Booker of the Year and he's carrying it like a badge of honor, I expect every week bangers. I expect every week bangers or close enough. If you're in the ballpark, every week AEW's been in the ballpark. Like, okay, great show. Could have done this a little bit better. Maybe this segment a little bit better. But this was all over the place. Is Adam Page with the Elite? Not with the Elite. Is he in? He's out. In, he's out. In, he's out. Is he with the Dark Order? One week he's with the Dark Order, and the next minute he is with the Elite. Which one is it? On this on-the-fly booking thing is ridiculous. So anyway, personally, I'm going to give this show a 6.57. I think it was, I'll even give it a 5. It could have been better. And I'm sorry that I'm toxic or being negative about this, but it was all over the place. All over the place. I was watching NXT. After the fact, I watched NXT. And I had more of, I got into it more with Carmella Hayes and literally Braun Breaker than I did what was going on with AEW. And I got to review that show. And that show, literally, no joke, is literally a 7.75. It's literally a B- to literally a B-, B+. That show, literally, like, some of it's comedy and some of it's really good. And people sleep on NXT lately. Same with Impact. And I'll say this week, Impact will probably get a better review score than Dynamite and Rampage combined. Because why? Because they're not all over the place. You just don't have bangers and matches, and then you don't have anything ebb and flow to get into that. That's what I'm saying. AEW could take a D this week. A C-D rating from me could have been better. And you'll have some of those AEW, I'm not a purist. I'm not about that tribalism. I watch anything that it comes to wrestling. And I will call a spade, a ball, strike a strike. If the show is trash, I will say the show is trash. And this week's AEW gets the hot, steamy trash award. I'm just saying this week. Now, next week, they could be a whole different story. They can come in guns blazing and being great and blow the roof off the building. Right now, AEW ain't blowing the roof off the building. They're making me, this week alone, just go, wow. This is the guy that's being praised to be Booker of the Year is kind of looking really bad. Now, I expect Ring of Honor to be good because it's pre-taped and Tony Khan has said he could have more creative freedom and control. So I expect Ring of Honor to be good. At the end of the day, I expect it to be good. So I think they're going to have a banger this week of a show. I hope so. Fingers crossed. I'm going to get a review of Dark because Dark was just, Elevation was bad. And Dark, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. But NXT, banger. Banger. Raw, banger. But as Pesci said to me last night, WWE is known for this. Though the last 2 weeks, they'll just show up and put bangers on and we'll be hyped for WrestleMania. That's what they do. But anyway, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. All my links will be down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. God bless. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'll see you in the streams. Peace.